Hey there, this is Dark Star. Just getting set up here. I'm not sure when, but we need to start a descent here at some point. I'm not getting descent information and I'm not sure why. So I'll be working on that a little bit. I've had this problem a lot. I don't know if it's specific to the Garmin 5000. Seems like I've had it in other planes beside the Longitude, so I don't think it's just the Longitude. It's probably just something I'm not understanding. Everything has been very stable today up to this point. CPU is humming along at 50% right now. A little higher than normal, but let's see. I think I see a stream. Hopefully I'm coming through here. I'm also playing Neofly, so you'll be seeing some Neofly messages come by. So my passenger satisfaction is currently falling, and my go-to is to serve drinks. If anyone joins and you want, I can fire up beyond ATC. I do have a flight plan for this flight, even though I'm not really following it. But I can do that. You want to hear some air traffic control chatter? I've got the snowstorms loaded up on weather. So I've got it up for snow. Because mountains and snow. So I'm thinking, I don't know what's happened to my radar here either. I guess that's okay. I guess that's just the extent of the weather overlay. Let's just go terrain relative, I guess. And if I want weather, I can just switch to weather. Alright, so plane here is 150 nautical miles. Let me double check the SimBrief plan. That is not SimBrief. Wow, it is way back there. I've been going through the... Ooh, how do I view my current flight? View flight plan? That's the one. So I accidentally had unlimited fuel on for a while, so I have way too much fuel, so we're going to be landing heavy. And I don't know what the winds are. Everything I look at tells me something different. So we might have a very nasty landing if we have like a 20 plus knot tailwind here. Which some of the weather reports claim. But again, I'm on like snow weather, so I don't know, we'll see. I think if it's 20 knots, I might try and get another runway. Can always fly around out here for a while. Okay, so what did this say? Top of descent was a little bit outside of CME, so I'm not quite there yet. So I would agree with that. I think 150 nautical miles is plenty. I did try to burn off some fuel by descending and then climbing back up. So if I go to perf landing, this is my edited weather right now to get it to let me land. So yeah, it's still saying weight limit exceeded, only by a little bit. So we might be having a problem with that too. I think outside of CME here, I had planned for a 2,000 foot per minute descent. We could wait even longer and do a 3,000 foot per minute descent, but that burns less fuel. Kind of rather burn more fuel, I think. I wish I could see what the distances were on this thing. Is there a measure distance tool? So welcome aboard, viewers. We're going to attempt a bad weather descent here into, what was it, Carson? Cavern City. Anybody been there? Is that New Mexico? It says NM, so I'm thinking it must be New Mexico, but who knows? It was right on the border. I think Roswell was somewhere right up here too, so I'm thinking it's New Mexico. They don't show on here. But our nav system is not planning our top of descent like we would want it to. I guess maybe what I could do, what if we do a procedure and we say we're just gonna go like RNAV 03. Now, unfortunately, see, I have these waypoints already in here. So now I would need to remove them from here. And the way this does it is it has you overfly the airport first. I don't know that I want to do that. Okay, there we go. Now we have a top of descent. I wonder why it won't do it for an ILS with vectors. Like you would think it would get you down to your platform altitude at the point you're supposed to start vectoring, right? Like why would it not plan a top of descent? And let's check our landing weight. Yeah, we're still going to be a little bit heavy. By 25 pounds. That is my NeoFly. So this is a latitude flight from way up in Alaska, PABE. I love that area up in Alaska too. It's so remote. To KCNM. So I don't know. I tried some more career recently, even with the update, and I'm having a hard time getting back into it, even with the new VIP missions. So we just did drinks. I guess let's do food. Just trying to keep people super happy. All right, but now at least we have a descent time, 14 minutes. And I was thinking like maybe 90 nautical miles from our final. So if we do that, it would be, well, like that would be 100. So if we wait 15 minutes, yeah, I think that would put us pretty close to that anyway. I wonder if you can change your VS target. You should be able to by going into your flight plan VNav. And you should be able to change something here. See 300.8. See, it doesn't let me choose the angle. Since ATC isn't bugging us, we could just start it ourselves. I'm thinking the longer we fly at a low altitude, the more fuel we will burn. Burn off those extra 25 pounds. Or maybe we need to make everyone exercise. Why do I have a red dot on my OBS? Time to do an update or something? I don't know. Feel free to say hi in the chat. If you're up for it. Let's see. So we're now at 12 minutes. So let's go ahead and get set up. I think I already turned on the fasten seatbelt light. And I prematurely turned on the landing lights. So let's see if we can pull up our chart. So I think we switched to this one. So I guess our new minimums would be 3545. 3545. I wonder if in-game there's actually any difference between an ILS approach and an RNAV approach. I mean, it's all game-generated data, right? Here's a glide path, here's a center line. You think they'd have two different ones for each airport? One for RNAV, one for ILS or... Okay, so 6,600, I guess. Let's see, 6,600. And then we need to make sure that VNav is armed. And I'm not sure if it's realistic, but it seems like I always get overspeed when I'm using FMS speeds for my descent. So I think closer to that time, I'm going to slow down just a little bit. Or I need to use the speed brakes a little. I was watching some stuff this morning on the new GLS approaches. It's like GPS, but ILS quality type approach, precision approach with differential GPS at the airport, basically. Flies a lot more like an RNAV, but it's just higher precision, really. So, and it can auto land as well, precise enough for that. Although apparently the auto landing has more to do with the radio altimeter than the ILS data. Guessing it's a little bit of a combination of both. Like, how do you know when to trust the radio altimeter? It would be when you're in a narrow area, like, you know, past the runway threshold. But I need auto landing. I don't know about you guys. My landings are still bumpy. I can pull out a nice one every once in a while, but crosswind is tough, especially not having rudder pedals. Got a twist stick, so it's a little hard to twist and, you know, aileron into the wind and deal with everything else all at once. Let's check on our passengers. They are happy. Nor is still serving meals. We could kick off an entertainment system here. So I've really been enjoying the Latitude. I had not blown one until really, I mean, you know, maybe a few minutes or whatever, but until just recently, a couple of days ago, I started flying it. Because it's kind of an upgrade in NeoFly, it has a longer range. Although the 3,500 nautical mile range is a lie. But it can do 3,000 pretty easily. Like I said, accidentally left unlimited fuel on here for a while, so I ended up with way too much fuel on this flight. Too bad it won't let us go faster. We could burn that fuel off real fast. Okay, I'm probably gonna forget my passengers now. Let's go check this approach out in a little more detail here. We got a few minutes before our descent, 4 minutes. So if you well, I mean, I'm on a PC on a mouse, so right click on that, and then you can move your cursor up, and then you can zoom in or out from there and see in more detail what it's going to do. I haven't figured out how to pinch here, but you can still zoom in and out with this. Okay, that looks like an okay approach. I don't know what the mountains are going to do to us. We might smack into one. There's our top of descent marker. Alright, so let's start. Let's pick up in our checklist here. So at flight level 310, we are going to want to start the APU. And at the transition altitude, which is 18,000 feet, we'll want to reset the altimeter. And we'll set our exterior lights. I think those are already set. Yeah, I don't think we need anything else. I wonder why this isn't earlier. Well, I guess actually these shouldn't be on right now. Oh. We'll turn those back off. So flight plan VNAV, we should be able to track our top of descent here. Okay, we're 1 minute, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit here. That'll give me a little bit more buffer in case I need to use the speed brake before I get over speed. Okay. Here we go. So it should throttle back now, but you can see we're still picking up some speed. Now I'll go FMS. Seems like that's a bug in the autopilot system to me a little bit. Either that or in the real plane, going a little bit over speed isn't a problem. Maybe they don't worry about it so much. But okay, so we're looking for flight level 310, and then we'll start the APU. Alright, there goes our entertainment system. The in-flight movie is ended, I guess. Getting a little bit over speed again. So, and I have the descent set to brake at 18,000 feet. It should auto slow to 240. And that gives it time to slow down before you break 10,000. And the APU start is back here. Okay, we should start our right. And along in here is where I start getting worried about mountains. I'm not 100% sure this RNAV approach takes that into account. Because it's really more the arrival and it doesn't have one, so we'll have to keep an eye out. We have to take evasive maneuvers or something through the soup that we're descending into. Alright, we're below 310. So let's see if this blows up the plane. There's a start. And it should come up here. RPM's coming up. So ideally we would get the weather for our destination airport, altimeter 2986. We could dial that in. I don't know if this is accurate or not though. But we'll see. So these are the mountains I'm kind of worried about here. I'm not sure we'll be over them. And I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for doing a go around on this approach because it may not be flyable. We'll have to see what the winds look like when we get down there. All right, so next we're looking for 18,000. Let's see. Honestly, I usually just, I mean, if I'm descending through, I usually just turn it now. So like now it's already preset, and then I could say that one's done. But if we had to hold at like 19,000 or whatever, then that would potentially be a problem. And then exterior lights, we want the landing lights on before we hit 10,000. So I'm thinking to do those just after 18 when we cut over our speed as well. It's already starting to slow down. After this, I was thinking about in either doing some neofly and like maybe a Vision Jet, or do some regular career mode. They do have the VIP missions now. They disappointingly do not have a Longitude available in career mode, at least for the new VIP missions, Charter VIP. Anybody playing career mode or Neofly or whatever? So there's our 240 at 18. Since we're descending, oops, I did not want that. Go ahead and turn on the landing lights. And we also need to get this set. It's our emergency backup independent system. Oh, I didn't realize those were on. Let's see what automated weather says.
Kilo Charlie November, Mike automated weather observation 0000 Zulu. Wind 26 tree at Fife. Visibility 9er and snow. Sky condition, ceiling 3,100 foot overcast. Temperature 5C due.
Now that gave us standard temperature and pressure, which would be pretty odd, but let's go with it to 992. And it gave me different wind information.
Kilo Charlie November, Mike automated weather observation
263 at 5. Okay. 2992. So we're still going for runway 3 for now. Oh. So far so good. Let's keep an eye on the
Kilo Charlie November, Mike traffic Dark Star Delta Sierra Charlie Tree, 115 miles, west 12200, Fort inbound to land runway tree.
All right, we have our landing data for now. We have our V speeds, landing distance. Ice protection. I think we need to get ice protection on, which probably changes my V speeds actually. Flight instruments, check. Minimums we set. Altimeters we verified. We don't have a crew. Passengers are on their own. Actually, I probably need to go throw some more. Let's give them some drinks. Let's see. Please fasten your seatbelts. We will be getting the flaps down soon. Watching out for terrain to come up here. There's our, stick our head out the window there. So very low visibility. All right, let's slow down. First flaps. I'm gonna dial this back. About 190. Okay, flaps 1 or 2 when desired. Before landing, we're gonna get the landing gear down. Flaps to full. Exterior lights are due to low visibility. We'll go ahead and turn on the taxi light as well. Oh, nope, maybe we won't. We should do that. I don't know if we should pulse or not. If anyone knows, give a shout out in chat. So I was gonna get through most of this turn and then get flaps 2 and gear down. And then we'll start slowing down some more. So we are going to be heavy because of the fuel situation. We've got almost 8,000 pounds of fuel. All right, I'm going to go flaps and gear. Not necessarily in that order. And my speed back to like 160. All right, and full flaps. Looks like we can go ahead and enable approach mode or arm it. Okay, and I did want to take a minute here to double check this landing data. Because we're gonna have anti-ice. Oh, we can't do it. Interesting. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna do 140 for approach speed. Winds aren't bad, so 5 knot crosswind. What was that? 2 knot tailwind. You see the terrain coming in here, but we're fine. We're above the terrain now. It's more right along in here where I was worried about it. So we did capture the glide path. I missed it, but there it is. All right, so let's go down to our approach speed. Since we're kind of more or less on a final here. I can see some ground down there. Okay, so landing gear is down, flaps are full, exterior lights are as required, speed brakes are retracted, everything looks good on the engines. Autopilot prior to minimum, we'll do that maybe. There's our outer marker. Airspeed is close. We're not quite there. We're gonna land a little fast, just because we don't know what the icing situation is. We're in the snow, right? So we're coming up on 4,500. I do not see the runway yet. Our minimums are 3545. Still a ways from the runway. Winds are 3 tailwind, 4 crosswind from the left. Okay, we're coming up on our minimums here. Although I'm inclined to push the minimums a little, if need be.
400. 300. Minimums.
Alright, there's technically our minimums.
150. Auto throttle.
Autopilot.
There we go.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
That wasn't the softest landing I've seen.
Come on, it was under 200 feet per minute.
Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
Alright. That is not a taxiway, I think. That is a runway. Alright, we made it. We will look into exiting up here then. Let's see, I think we still have, yeah, speed brake still got pulled. There we go. Look at the cactus. I've not landed in this biome, I think. So next I was thinking about maybe going and just doing a Vision Jet flight out of Aspen in the snow. See how that goes. So I think we got a taxiway right up here. I don't think there was much ATC going on, was there? Can we do,
Kilo Charlie November, Mike Traffic Dark Star Delta Sierra Charlie Tree 1 is taxiing to parking.
I don't think there's any ground or tower or anything. I think I'm actually just going to end it here.
Transporter, you can open the doors and begin the disembarkation.
So we get our Neofly cache here. So let's see, we got 200,000 real-time flight bonus, 1,573 experience for this, and a little bit of change. There's 60 there, and we'll get 25 at the end. And then we'll get the main reward, which was...
That's all the VIPs off the aircraft now.
Yeah.
A job well done.
So 721,000. Oh, not too bad.
Start your engine.
So how much would it cost to go to Aspen Airport? Which I think is case. So if I say case, so 10,000. Yeah, okay, fine. That's not that much. And then we go, and what we want to do is rent a Vision Jet. And where is 7COO? Seven CO0 maybe? That seems right up there near it, doesn't it? Okay, I think it already picked that as a departure. Is that long enough? Hope that's the 4,000-foot runway. Okay, so now we need to hop our pilot over to, well, first I guess we should rent the Vision Jet. Here. So we went to rent that. can move our pilot to the Vision Jet.
7 Charlie Oscar 0 traffic Dark Star Delta Sierra Charlie Tree 1 taking off runway 26
I know
departure
it's
to the
going to be
west.
a good day when my favorite pilot is working.
I wonder if there's any jobs to Case.
Let's get out of here. Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
I don't see any jobs to Casey. We could do the goods market. Let's check. So phones and clothes. Yeah, I say let's just take a joyride. All right, let's see what we have for routes. Pattern straight out auto. I'm okay with that. It's picked runway 33, RNAV F arrival. One thing I wish this could tell you is your minimum altitudes along each segment of a route. So this looks like it only gets me to here, and then you have to fly the rest of the way in. Okay. Let's go 190. IFR. Alright, let's make sure everything is on here. We'll turn on ice lights. We want engine stabilizer. I think that's not supposed to be on at first. Sink our fuel. I don't know that we have much else. We've got a flight plan, takeoff data. That should come from up here. Takeoff distance with a, let's say 50-foot obstacle 2473. 2473. So let's get our takeoff on and our climb. And then we want to arm the auto throttle. And you want to hit this little button right here, but I have it on my throttle. So I'll use that in a minute. We'll see what that does. We can go ahead and dial in our altitude, which is 19,000. Unless we get a different one from air traffic control, but we're not really going to use air traffic control. And then we'll set our heading bug. We may or may not use it, but, and then I like to put the map up and full screen the map. And we can see here we've got oxygen, IPS fluid, doors closed, parking brake is off. I'm holding the brakes right now. Well, I wasn't, but I should have been. When you take the parking brake off while you're holding the brakes, it doesn't hold them down. Alright, we look good. Can full screen the map. We don't have our flight plan route up here for some reason. okay, because it doesn't have anything here, we can say just go direct to here. And now we have a direction. All right, okay. Trims at 6%, that's good. Flaps at 50%. Engine's looking good. I will now click the takeoff button here. So these come up. There's our initial climb. And are we missing anything else? I don't think so. So hold the brakes. The engines go a little bit here. Off we go. I don't know if anyone has any opinion on those. Okay, at 85 we want to rotate, but we're rotating early.
Have a nice flight. Just to remind you, we're not paying you for this one.
Gears up. Now we're looking for 115. Get the flaps up. And we can also watch the radio altimeter there in the middle, 380, 390, 430. So now we can enable the autopilot and let that climb us out until we're ready to start taking over. So now we can, like, we want to turn this way a little bit and then heading. And we can arm nav, that'll probably just automatically take over. I think we're close enough. So it's gonna, I don't know if the real one does this, but this swerves you so hard into the into the route. It's like, why do you do that? I don't need to come at it at 90 degrees. Okay, one thing I should have done is get my relative. Okay, it is. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, it is. There we go. I was confused because it was so colorful. Usually there's some black. I love watching this thing as it climbs and the terrain creeps back. So just want to make sure we're not going to hit anything red. Now we need to get our de-ice on. We'll go high because we're definitely getting some ice here. You can see it building up on the window. Shame on me for not doing it earlier. My understanding is the Vision Jet has more of an anti-ice system than a de-icing system. Like, you're better off starting early. But I do think you're not supposed to run those when you're taking off and landing. So probably should have ran it for a bit and then turned it off for the takeoff. Okay, so we should be climbing out at 165 here. We're only at 110. I think I didn't get my flaps up yet. That's one problem. So we can do that now. I was waiting for 115 and then got distracted. So shame on me. Auto throttle is still on. FMS is on. And now we just want to do FLC. So it looks like the window cleared up. It's not iced now. Oh, I think that's the sun through the clouds. It is more or less west. That's a nice effect. Well done. Okay, so this is only less than 30-minute, or right around a 30-minute flight. I don't know if we'll probably get up to 19,000 just in time to descend. This should be a crazy descent into Aspen too, with all the mountains around and everything. I did it a couple of times the other day as practice. I still don't know that area real well. I got inspired by watching a real life flight into Aspen in moderately bad weather, you know, cloudy, snowy. So I thought it'd be fun to fly a few times. I'd like to get the Honda Jet and see how it is. I've heard it's even better than the Vision Jet. This thing is just so cute though. This looks like what a little toy pocket jet should look like. The Honda Jet has kind of the weird pedestals that the engines come up on out of the wings. But it's still pretty cute looking. And then I think I'd also get something like a Bombardier. I want something between the Longitude and like a 737. Something in like a Bombardier maybe, or at least whenever the marketplace opens up. I can't remember what the other one is that's close to a Bombardier. Not coming to me right now. I think it starts with a G. Gulfstream, maybe? Something like that. But a bigger executive jet with longer range than a Longitude. I didn't do too bad. I guess I made what, somewhere around 900,000 for that run. That's still a long time to get the next plane though. And that took all day. That was I started it long before I started the stream, so I don't know, 6-7 hour stream flight. And if you don't do that, you get about half. You can sim rate forward. Alright, our en route time is now 25 minutes. I'm wondering if we should, let's flatten out here a little bit early. So let's just lower our altitude by, let's go to 1700 maybe. Alright, now we got time to top a descent, 18 minutes. And since this is just a joyride, I'm thinking I will sim rate forward a little bit. Let's get set up and see where we are. So runway 15 was recommended with an 8-knot headwind, and I think that's the one nope, we have plan 33. That's no good with a tailwind. So I guess, like, what happens if you switch to 15? I don't even know how you get into 15. Can you? Because you'd have to come up this way, right? Has ILS. Maybe 15 is the one we want, actually. Let's see what happens if we do that. So let's put this in heading mode. And then if we I don't know how to move the map around in the Vision Jet. Range, push, pan. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's do it. Let's intercept our new navigational route. I think I said ILS, but this is not an ILS approach. It's just a localizer approach with no vertical guidance is what it is. I wonder what this one does for us. I think I'm gonna fly this one. I don't know what it'll do. We can always fly it in by hand if we need to. But we could, in theory, say switch this to the RNAV-F approach. Do we have charts? Okay, so 1370. Or 13700, I mean. Some insane minimums. I'm gonna go with the lowest, even though technically that's probably not right. I'm gonna ignore them anyway. Yeah, I prefer that other, what do they call it? Ajax? But let's at least go to LIFTT. LIFTT. HET. And then we can go to Extreme. I love the names of their waypoints. Extreme. Nav. Because that'll get us on this line, and then we can fly the rest of the way in. You'd think a difficult to reach popular airport for rich people like this would have like an ILS or something. So when we're coming towards Extreme, I think we'll like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I know I need to get VNav on now. I don't know, maybe we should just go with this other one. Yeah. Let's try it. So it's 14,000, 12.9, 12.22. So I'm okay with going down to 12.22. Or whatever. 12.2. Okay, so top of descent, 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and sim rate up a little bit. Since we're not getting rewarded for this flight anyway. Flying right along the tops of the clouds.
Vertical track.
That's our 1 minute warning. So I wonder how far it is from this last waypoint we have to the airport. I'm guessing if by this point you haven't seen the airport, you need to do a go around. But I also think you have to turn onto the runway at the last minute. Alright, is there anything else we can do here? see, did we have this? We have this flight plan, so let's...
Aspen approach Dark Star Delta Sierra Charlie Tree 1 is type 11 miles southeast of Charlie Oscar 47, 15,000 feet. Request flight following. Dark Star Delta Sierra Charlie Tree 1 Aspen approach. Squawk 6125.
Okay. 6125.
Dark Star Delta Sierra Charlie Tree 1 radar contact 11 miles southeast of Charlie Oscar 47, 14,200 feet, altimeter 29er. 9er 2. Roger, Dark Star Delta Sierra Charlie Tree 1.
We're getting some radio interference here. Okay, we got a ridge coming up here. Let's see, we need to slow down, right? I think actually I'm going to drop auto throttle. Did we miss a VNAV point? I don't know. Where are we on our flight plan here? I think we did. All right, we're getting some visuals here.
Minimums.
Oh, that is a steep dive to the airport. I'm gonna do something you'd probably never do in real life. And that is just circle here in this little tiny canyon. Let's get flaps up to 1 so we don't get too slow here. Yeah, we got... I was not following the VNAV profile properly. It is very disorienting when you can't see. maybe we can be set up a little bit better here.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
That's about to the end of that waypoint, and then I think we have to do a visual from there, right? We're a little low. So add a little power. Winds look relatively calm, so we should be okay here. I'm going to ease the power out as we come down. We got a lot of runway. Still a little high and drifting off here.
That was a harder landing than we like to see, pilot. Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
I don't think 173 was all that bad, but okay. Not a butter landing. Alright, and you're not supposed to leave the pitot heat on. And let's get the windshield off. And we will leave everything else on for right now. And let's see what Neofly says we can do here. Okay, our best mission is 1,000 nautical miles in a Vision Jet. For not very much pay either. But I guess it's similar to what I was getting in the Longitude per mile. Let's see. Your ground speed in the Vision Jet is up here. If you haven't changed it, you can change those. That's where it is by default. Kind of inclined to do like a shorter one. Let's see. Maybe that one. It's a little further than this mission was. One of these days I need to look up and see if anybody ever lands the other way. So can you land on 33 and why does... I don't know. But winds were pretty calm coming in, so I'm not too worried about taking off that way. So if we take that job, we're gonna have to carry 1,000 extra pounds. That's gonna weigh us down pretty good. Makes it a bit of a challenge to get off the ground. That one's 950 pounds. Let's do this one. KFNL. So we have to turn things off.
You are clear to start your engine.
And then we can take the job.
Captain, this is dispatch. The VIPs do not look too happy today. It's probably best if we don't keep them waiting.
So it says we
Roll
need to
out the
load
red
in
carpet. VIPs are on the way.
1120. So reset this. Pick our departure is KC. And we will do 33 straight out here. KFNL.
Transporter from dispatch. Everyone is on board. Let's go.
Ooh, ILS. All right. Let's get everything back on.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Give it a minute here. So because it's so cold out, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the pitot. We're not going to be that long. I'm going to pre-de-ice the window and we'll turn it off for takeoff. Ooh, that might be a problem. Is that enough fuel? Not this one. So, we have to turn it off again. This says we should have half a tank of fuel. Let's add a little.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Okay, so we should have 759 pounds. And we need to load up the mass here. So that only let me do 900. So now we need 220 more. So we could do 220. Did I just lift the, the nose off the ground? You can nudge this back up. Okay, that's a little better. I don't know what's going to happen with fuel. So, how much did I say? I don't know, it says we have 1,000 pounds, which is more than that says, so I guess we'll see. So now we got to do this. So let's see what that says we have. Okay, that's more, right? I think. I don't know. 300 is the most you can put in. Just curious where that puts us. Okay. All right, let's load this into the avionics. And then we need to, I guess, say direct to that. And our required takeoff distance is, we'll just say, what do you do with a 12,000 foot obstacle? I don't know. I don't think we need it. 3, 2, 1, 2. And we're pretty high up, which always makes it a challenge. But it's a long runway. Alright, let's turn these off. And I'm not sure, but I think you're supposed to turn the wing stabilizer off too. Huh. Alright, flaps are at 50. Arm the auto throttle. Well, let's wait on that for just a minute. We need to pull out here. And set our pitch trim back up to 6. Or 7. We're still in the green. I know, I'm like, we have plenty of runway, and then I go to the very, very, very end. Alright, brakes on. Let's look up a little bit. Okay, auto throttle arm, takeoff mode activated, heading bug set, altitude setting, VNav off. So I'm going to set this to 15 initially. We'll see where we need to go from there. So we're going to have to get out of here and get clearance over these mountains and then turn to the right. All right. We're looking for 85. What is that? It's up on the runway.
Pilot from dispatch. Fly safe. These customers don't like excitement.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the flaps up. Autopilot on. We're in takeoff mode for now. Flaps are up, gear is up. believe we can keep takeoff power for like up to 5 minutes. And then the engines start exploding or something. We'll go ahead and say heading mode. We'll start turning this way a little bit. Go ahead and go flight level change. Oh, I think we left this in manual instead of FMS. There we go. All right. Turn to go through here. So I'm thinking to turn, so get across here, turn here, and then intersect our route. Oh, we didn't get our anti-icing back on. Let's check on our passengers. They're looking okay. They didn't turn all green and all of that. Sometimes they get these like scare face things going on here. So I don't have any flight attendant people, so I can't do anything with them. Like I have nobody to do anything. But at least I didn't scare them to death yet. It doesn't look like we're going to hit anything, so let's go nav mode and we can turn a little bit more. I've heard mixed things about the battery warning. Like you should have it on, you shouldn't have it on. I'm pretty sure I watched a real life video and they only had one battery on when they took off. I don't know if it's a bug or not. I'm okay either way. How y'all doing? Let's zoom out a little more. So let's climb just a bit. Let's go to 16. What do we got? Takeoff thrust? I thought we did that already. Okay. Okay. So it's in climb now. Alright, what is, as soon as we level out here, we should get a time to descent, I hope. We can get rid of this hold so that we get a better time. Otherwise, it'll include in your descent one loop around the... What? Why is it not deleting? May not let me delete it. I don't see any terrain in the way. Some nice mountains out there. Hey, I see another player. I had one person say, come, leave a comment on a stream that says they saw me flying around out in Alaska. Thought that was great. I love this relative terrain feature. What did they do in the old days, man? I know they had charts that had the highest point marked on it and you just flew higher than that. Oh. I gotta say, they've done a pretty good job with the scenery, and I never played 2020, so I saw it a little bit, but I wasn't that impressed with some of what I saw. And of course, I've not been impressed with some of what I've seen here as well, but the mountains and stuff all look pretty cool. That's a lot of data. Alright, we're nice and steady here. Let's go into heading mode. And so we can get rid of this what if we just do that?
Vertical track.
Wow, really? It would have me descending already? What? I don't think so. It always does this thing where you overfly the airport. So weird. But okay, we'll do it. So direct, activate nav. Now we have a 15 minutes to top of descent. And unlike the descent into Aspen, I'm just going to go ahead and move this down. Let's see what our runway altitude is at. What runway are we landing on here? 33. Should be at 5,000 feet. this will be somewhere down around 5,000. Let's see if we have a chart. Yeah. What? We'll do 5.3. I don't know, let's do 5.380. And then so here we want to come in 7.6, so that's what we want to dial in here. And then ARM VNav. And let's just see how Neofly thinks we're doing. Yep, we're okay. So it looks like the place we're flying to is kind of north of Denver a little ways. Right near Loveland, actually. Far south end of Fort Collins. And what did they call this place? Fort Collins, Loveland. Nice. Okay. This is making me nervous. See another fellow person out there? I really wish we could have radio comms with like people in your vicinity. Maybe like a side channel you could tune in to COM2 or something. Or, you know, people in the YouTube stream would say hi. The one person who's there. We had up to 6 people today, wow. My son said if you get 2 simultaneous viewers, you're in the top 1% of streamers. Probably not far off. Hey, here's some mountains. Let's go for some exterior views. Look at the moon. That wide angle shot. Weirdly stretched out. I hope this runway has lighting. Let me see what Neofly says. One thing I really like about Neofly, and they need to get some of this stuff in the other mission system, is I can see right here it has hard runways, it has ILS, it has lights, it has fuel. Now, this fuel thing may be a Neofly thing, but like, why can you not see that in the built-in mission engine? The other thing you can see is on your mission, longest runway at the destination, right? And filters, like there's no mission filters in career mode. I can turn on or off must have ILS. I can turn on or off lights. So that way I only get hard runways, ILS runways, and lights, right? And then these are the different types of missions, which also it should have different distances. You know, this is weight requirement filter and number of passengers. And then within that, I mean, you've just got a nice mission list, right? You can quickly see each one. I'm hoping they'll really put some effort into the career mode, you know, the built-in career mode. Because I do like it. I like the... what I like about it most, I think, is flying into strange places, right? Here's a weird little airport. Here's some scenery along the way, right? I mean, it just gets you to do things that, you know, you might not just know to do. The other thing NeoFly does a little bit better than career mode is it does a lot less, which is not as good, but like it at least tells you like what your, you know, how hard you landed, right? I wish career mode had kind of that information. Or free fly for that matter. I mean, like, how am I doing on my landings? Like, I could tell in here I'm not doing great, right? I mean, I can go to my stats and I can see my landing stats. You know, these are real light. You know, anything in here is pretty decent, and anything below here is a little, you know, well, this band is a little bit hard, but tolerable. And then below here, you're getting a little too hard, and I have way too many down in this realm. Part of my problem is I fly like so many different planes, like I don't even remember what all my speeds are and everything in each one. You know, this is probably a dozen or more different airplanes, including, you know, recently an F-18, a Twin Otter, some other stuff, like, you know, because I was doing the certs. So I got my military cert, and I got my helicopter cert. And I had to take the helicopter one like 4 times. I almost instantly failed the very first one because I didn't understand what it was going to do. So it's like, you know, fly up to altitude and then hover. So I just kind of started taking off and going up, and it's like, oh, you failed. And I missed a message that's like, fly up to 15 feet and then hover. So started that one over, did one. I 0-starred a certification. So I got the certification, but like with 0 stars. I didn't even know you could do that at first, but you get 0 star, your reward for any missions is minus 20%. That's not so good. But I retook it and I got 3, so. I've not been able to take this one yet. And I don't like any of these planes. Like, so I don't know. I figure out what I want to do. I'd like to, I fly these a lot, so I need to 3-star this one. And you know, I'd like to go back and 3-star all of them, just to try it. It's not so hard. The military certification is very different from the others. Helicopters obviously somewhat different because it includes the hovering step. I haven't done this one, and these are all basically the same. You know, on all of these, you take off, you climb to 1,000 feet above ground level, then you do a 180, and then you fly to 3,000 feet above ground level, and then you do a 360, and then you do a touch and go, and the touch and go is what determines your number of stars. So that is determined in this eye. So you got to get your feet per minute has to be less than 50 feet per minute, or greater than negative 50, depending on which way you like to think about it, to get 3 stars. So, I think that was the case here as well, but I mean, obviously it's a touchdown in a helicopter, so it's a little different. But all these are the same way. They're all about the touch and go. This one was really weird. It's like climb to 1,000, climb to 9,000, do a barrel roll, do a loop, then go to under 500 feet above ground level and fly it over 500. It says miles per hour, but I think it's probably nautical miles per hour. And I failed that one like so many times. I don't know, 5 or 6 times before I finally got a 2-star. And when I got to, so you get the number of stars based on that very last thing you do, which is that, you know, you have to fly under 500 feet. Well, it says under 500 feet. This says 700 to 500 is 1 star, so maybe technically under 700. But I didn't know that I needed to be over 600 miles per hour to get 3 stars, so I'll probably take it again and see if I can do that. Other than that, it's not too hard to do. It's very forgiving on the loop and the barrel roll. Even when I stalled out and like didn't really do a loop at all, it counted it as a loop. So that's certifications. Where are we here? 2 minutes to descent. Okay. Anyway, I'm enjoying NeoFly. Slightly more than the career mode because Microsoft career mode fails so often. I mean, I've never had this fail to give me a credit for a mission yet. Is there some light in here? I don't know if that's going to help us or not. Eh, it looks like it would. With all the features in this plane, I'm wondering how long it's going to be before they just have auto land. Like not a special auto land, but here's a plane that can land itself. Go have fun.
Vertical track.
That's our 1 minute warning. Let's see if we can declutter that map a little. It's already pretty low. That's because we're in snow mode. So there's snowstorms everywhere. I really need to track down which component is causing me audio problems. Something's going on. Maybe it's just raw CPU. Alright, we are descending on a very weird descent path for some reason. So let's take over FMS here and slow us down just a bit. And I really hate to do the, well, what should I do? Yeah, I don't know. Ah, I got it, okay. What I didn't want to do is go into setting modes in the middle of a stream. I hate that. It's very disruptive. I wish you could change your settings without pausing. just like you can go into clouds, right? So, but I found it. So I have a binding where I can lower or raise my FMS target speed without having to look down here. Putting it down here makes sense when you're, when you're sitting in this chair and you've got your throttle and everything right there. But it sure is a pain for like this flight sim. Oh, I think we got a new top of descent. That's weird. So for some reason, even though we're in snowstorms, our winds are calm. I sort of expected the winds to be higher. Suppose I could go thunderstorm. Those have some nasty, nasty winds. Did that the other day. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and slow down. Slow to 190. And I think after this I'm going to pop off. We're 2 hours in, that's pretty good. So we have our diamond on here, which suggests that we could enable approach mode, but I don't know that we want to do that. So we complete this turn. As long as we're below the diamond, we're okay. I need to keep an eye on that though. Now technically, if there's icing conditions, you're only supposed to use flaps 50. And that's why you have this stall speed high warning, because we're using de-icing or anti-icing. So I might do that. I might just do flaps 50. Let's see. It's an 8,500 foot runway. That's way plenty. It's pretty high though, which hurts a bit. Takes longer to land. Let's pull back to 165. And then I want to go check out my so our land distance is 1685 according to this. Don't really see anything out the window right now. Okay, let's come back to 140. Let's go 145 until we finish this turn here. I think I want to go ahead and get my first notch flaps down here. And my gear. All right, 3 greens on the gear, green on the flaps. Can we even see the... Yeah, we can see a little bit. Got Captain American up ahead, so we're safe. Another crazy feature is this synthetic vision view that they have on the Garmin's and some other avionics too. Having that now, like if I fly the 737 or something, I'm like, why is this so antiquated? Alright, I'm going to arm approach mode. So went instantly to glide slope. It's going to follow the GPS. And I do not know what's going to happen at the end here. It's always a little bit of a surprise. Okay, it looks like it should be straight on. I was a little worried because this comes up this way. I was worried that I might have to do a last minute turn. So our minimum's 5380, roughly. Unless we're in imminent danger of hitting the ground, I'm gonna be okay with continuing on, even if we don't see the airport. But it looks like it's gonna... Looks like we should be able to see the airport here pretty soon. We're, what, 7.5 nautical miles away? Alright, let's, as we're coming up on Conroy here, we want to slow down to our final approach speed. Should happen pretty quickly with flaps and gear down. There goes my audio weirdness. All right. Winds are 5 and 2. There's our outer marker. All right. I'm gonna do approach speed of 95. We're on the glide path. Looking good. You can see the snow flicking across the lights here. Okay, we're looking for 5380 on the altimeter. Hopefully we'll be able to have the airport in sight at that point. coming up on 2.5 nautical miles. That should be about middle marker time. I see it. Looks like a jellyfish off in the distance. Yeah, it's not very bumpy, so.
$500.
Radio altimeter.
Minimums.
So our minimums, we're good. Come off autopilot though, and how come I turn off autopilot and we instantly are facing the wrong way? Like, what was it doing? Can see it pretty clearly in the synthetic vision though. There's 30. And I'm way off the center line, my bad. I don't even know where the center line is all of a sudden. I feel like...
That was a harder landing than we like to see, pilot.
Like the airport's all blurry.
Contact ground for your parking assignment, then shut down your engine.
I don't think the airport is completely loaded yet. Like, look how just absolutely blurry it is out here. Is that all just the windows? Maybe? No, it's fine now, see? Something was weird. Nice, okay, anyway. Now I gotta find a run, taxiway. I see one coming up here on the right. I'm so used to flying like the Longitude, where you're so much higher off the runway. I had this go pretty high in the air still, I think. But also, like, it was all fuzzy. I couldn't see what was what. All right, let's.
Okay, the VIPs are leaving the aircraft and are heading straight to the limo.
So just completing our mission here.
Okay, that's all the VIPs off the aircraft now. A job well done.
So little tiny pay.
Start your engine.
For the big payouts, you gotta fly a long, long ways. But like, I don't want to fly that long for even 100K. I'll do 2,000 nautical miles for like 3 or 4,000. I feel like they need to rebalance these. I wonder if we have any. What do we have nearby here that we could do? I've never flown a 747. I've flown the 737 MAX. Yeah, I don't wanna take it in any of those. We got a little Vision Jet nearby. I don't think I want to take it right now though. KC-24. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it an evening. Thanks for joining. Hanging out for a bit. And I will catch you later. Bye.